Authentic Empress, and it's going to be a reading for Aries. It's been a while since I've done zodiac sign readings, so in lieu of the 2022 New Year, spring, I'm going to do another one. So, whether this is going to be a regular thing, I'm not sure. We'll see. It definitely can't be like a lot. It may even be annually, but anyway. Alright, Aries, so let's get into your reading. As you can see in the description, we had stop shining light on things you are not. I want to show you guys these cards. This was just for me to get you guys this basis of your reading. So, eliminate distractions, stop shining light on things you are not. How can you reclaim your power, Aries? Deep inward healing, you will be rewarded for the work. How can you alchemize your fear? And then we also had Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. In what ways are you abundant right now? Alright, Aries. Alright, so if you guys are going to view my content, I do ask for you to like, subscribe, and share. And that's only so that I can reach more people. People can see my messages and actually receive whatever guidance or essential guidance from what I share. So, thank you very much. If you are able to take any value from what I post, please do show some form of reciprocity, even if it's just a like. Thank you. Alright. So let's clarify this energy. So I'm hearing energy by Drake. I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy. They're trying to take the wave from a nigga. Okay, so there's something here that you've been having some challenge around clarifying, or you've been waiting for some clarity on something you've been perceiving here. Something that there can be some darkness or some gray areas surrounding whatever this information is, and it's caused you to have a little to create a little bit of insecurity or fear of the unknown here. Something regarding work, something regarding labor, or some manifestations you've made or you've begun in the past. You could be anticipating whatever previous outcomes you've experienced before with whatever this endeavor was or this project here. And it's telling you to stop shining light on these things, right? Because it does not define your actual power, your authority, you know, who you are, right? Okay. So some of you guys have been needing some clarity from spirit regarding how you perceive yourself and properly perceiving your path, because of some outcomes that I guess didn't really seem compatible to the energy you were sowing here. So that could have caused, or it could have aroused some doubt, some anxiety here moving forward, or moving forward with whatever this endeavor was, or this creative endeavor. There could also be some challenge around authority, some type of authority, authoritative energy. Are you standing in your authority? Eliminate distractions. So, Aries energy, you could have dealt with some people who found your passion, who perceive your passion as competition. They perceive your passion, your fierce, fiery, headstrong energy, your direct, very direct, intense energy as competition, and this could have caused some outcomes or just some influences in, you know, whatever endeavors that you set forth for yourself that manipulated the outcomes, and you could be anticipating, you know, these things reoccurring, or how to prevent or avoid these things from happening again with this same endeavor, right? But it's telling you not to shine light on the things you are not. So there could have been some words, exchanged here about how whomever perceive you, but there's some darkness with this person's perception here. So it could have just been ruled by emotions, like emotions were just flared and people, you know, said things, people do things. whoever this is, these energies here, these people, you're giving too much power to these people's energies for them to not really be in a healthy emotional state with whatever or whenever they were communicating these perceptions to you. They were not in a healthy emotional state to even be trying to read anything about you, let alone themselves, right? So they're telling you not to stop shining light on these things. Not that you shouldn't acknowledge it. You should rightfully acknowledge it so that you can face it, you can address it, and go about it how you're supposed to, right? With that Aries energy being head first, right? Headstrong energy, just confrontation, right? Just confronting the matter and getting it over with, being direct. So this could be encouraging you to reflect this energy inwardly, right? So deep inward journey, you'll be rewarded for the work. So this work, this labor, this spiritual labor, you know, as it pertains to you pouring so much, you know, focus and attention to trying to uncover and unveil what's the problems here, you know, what's the reason for the confusion, what's the reason for the disagreements, the discord, you know. You're focusing on things that don't even really, you know, directly have anything to do with you for real. Like, instead of making yourself your number one priority, you've been making these other people and their problems, or these other perceived problems, you know, that people have been creating or conjuring. You've been making that more of a priority in your life, and that's, you know, is manifested to you reaping or a transfer of that confusion energy about your path and your journey moving forward, right? And due to whatever outcomes you've experienced previously to whatever this creative endeavor was, or delays, or barriers, or obstacles, or whatever, this has caused you to ruminate, being this energy of pessimism and ruminating over something that it does not define who you are, your true character, or your potential, right? Eliminate distractions. So these distractions here, these distractions can be in the form of people, it can be in the form of old memories, it can be in the form of old emotions, old feelings, or unaddressed feelings. It can be in the form of several things that's distracting you from having an accurate perception of yourself. So there's something here that's causing you to perceive yourself or your journey, your path inaccurately. But they're saying that you have the Midas touch here. You have the Midas touch when it comes to, okay. So, you know, fire is very spiritual energy, Aries. And, you know, you guys are the first of the fire signs. You're the first of the zodiac, you know. You're the first, you know, to go first, right? So, when it comes to this spiritual energy and your intuition, right, and this premonition type energy or whatever, and visions, you have the Midas touch, right, when it comes to perception. Things are working out in your favor. So when you allow yourself to be in a mind where you perceive things to be working out in your favor, regardless of what the outcome is, regardless of what it appears to be, regardless of how it seems like it is in the seen world, in the tangible material world, right? They're saying that when you're able to hold your mind, right, or remain in your natural equilibrium of how you perceive things, how you perceive the world, or perceiving things working out for your good, working out in your favor, right, by relying on the seeds that you've sown, knowing that the seeds that you sown were out of integrity. They were out of compassion. They were out of genuine passion. You know, they were out of good energy. So regardless of what an outcome may have, you know, look like due to manipulation and stuff like that, that's not, you know, what you should be basing your perception and where you gain clarity on how these things are going to work out for you. Because it's saying that you are going to be rewarded for whatever this work was. So it doesn't have to be just work like you know, working an actual job. This could be the work that you've sown into other people and other connections, right? The investments that you've made in people where, you know, instead of them reciprocating that love to you, or reciprocity, or a genuine connection or loyalty, and, you know, them not doing so as a result, you feeling like, okay, this was work that was wasted, this was work that was for nothing, right? What did I really get out of this, right? How do I know to, like, how should I govern and conduct myself moving forward with, you know, whatever this is, if I've done the work and this was the outcome, you know? So You guys are basing your identity on whatever outcome, you know, just because maybe it wasn't time, it wasn't divinely time. Maybe, you know, the people, you wasn't aligned with the people you're supposed to be aligned with. There are several factors and reasons why the outcome could have, you know, gone however it went, including a person being emotionally immature. So these people that you try to expose, you know, to whatever this was, you know, like to help them ascend higher and stuff like that. Maybe they just weren't ready. Like, you know, you have to stop taking things so personal and adopting that as your identity, or adopting that as, you know, your manifestation. There's still people whom you cannot control. You can only control yourself, right? You are the authority of your own life. So you guys can know that you have like a spirit of authority, like, or maybe, you know, you was some type of authority in a past life, and you feel this in this lifetime. And this could be why you could fixate and ruminate on outcomes not going out, you know, in your more favored, you know, what you would have wanted it to be. Like, I poured so much into her. I really wanted her to make better decisions for herself. You know, I didn't want her to have to go through what she went through. I wish she would have took my advice. You know, I really was trying to look out for her better good. Yeah, and that was good what you did. It was a beautiful thing that you sown that seed, right? You're still going to reap from that seed that you sown. Just because you didn't reap it from that individual that you poured into directly doesn't mean you're not going to reap that energy back. You will be rewarded for this work. And it doesn't have to come from those particular individuals, or, you know, those particular groups and organizations. So it wasn't for nothing. Somebody needs to know that it wasn't in vain. Whatever you did, whatever this work was, you know, whether that's emotionally, because laboring can be in any form. It doesn't have to just be working at a fucking job, bro. So whatever this labor was that you so passionately poured into something, right? Because a lot of y'all, some of y'all, you could have poured so much energy into this that it could have made you feel weakened or drained. Like, it could have been very draining, whatever this was. Or you ruminating on shining light on these things that do not define you, even though it happened to you, even though you experienced it. This is not who you are. You know, just because it happened to you don't mean you deserved it to happen to you. You know, this is not all that you are. Stop fixating on these things that happen to you as your identity, and highlight more the attributes and the natural, you know, traits and qualities and talents and gifts that you do have that does accurately define who you are, right? That aspect, essence of yourself that you take this material, right, from these experiences and these lessons and this trauma. You take that material, and then with who you truly are, you use who you truly are to alchemize and shape and modify that material, right, you know, from these encounters and these experiences. So in essence, that's who you are. So you need to shine light more on who you are. Who is the person behind these experiences? Who is the person behind these encounters? Who is the person behind these outcomes? Who is the source of this life? You are the source of your life path, and that's where your priority needs to be. That's what you need to shine light on, not on the things that happen to you, because that does not define you. Just because you was raped, that don't mean you're a victim. Just because you was raped, that don't make you a prostitute. Just because, you know, you was sexually what's the word? I can't even think of the word right now. You was sexually promiscuous because of whatever you experienced. That does not define you. That does not mean this is your identity. Just because you experienced it, just because you went through it, that does not define who you are, right? And they're saying that your thoughts are very, very powerful at this time as well. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of being clear with yourself, or of receiving this clarity, seeking out this clarity, you know, from the spirit realm, you know, as it pertains to your journey, right? And turning inward to remember who you are, to reclaim your power. Yeah. So some of you are being told by spirit to reclaim your power as a transformative force. Some of you guys could have been made to perceive the opposition you've been in, or the confrontations you experienced, or the frequency of the confrontations you've experienced. People trying to identify you as some hothead, or some stereotype, a stigma of the Aries energy, just because you are confrontational or you're more direct than they tend to be. Right? So you've encountered so many people who are passive, who are indirect, who are subliminal, who are all of these things, and they're not direct like the Aries energy is direct. The Aries energy is headstrong, head first, direct. Right? We're talking about the ram. Right? Head first into this thing. Head first into these problems. Head first into, you know, this confusion, this discord. Let's just talk about it. Right? Let's address it. This is the type of energy you in. And, you know, people could have tried to swindle the image of you, or create this narrative of you to manipulate people into thinking, oh, this is just a ratchet, confrontational, messy person, you know, like this person is very argumentative, you know, like people attaching negative stigmas to your energy, when in actuality, no, it's necessary for us to have people who will be direct, or we need leaders who are direct and transparent, right? Leaders who are going to tackle things head on. So that's the thing about the Aries energy. You could have received like a lot of competition and a lot of jealousy surrounding authority, right? Because you naturally have that energy as the first of the zodiac. So that could have naturally attracted the energy of competition and opposition in general. I mean, obviously, because you're ruled by Mars, right? You're ruled by Mars. So let's clarify. Let's clarify. If you view my content, please like, share, or subscribe. Comment something. Get my algorithms and flow, ebb and flow, so other people can receive this message. If it's not for you, good or not good, but maybe it's for someone else. And if we're going to be in our North Node energy, if we're going to truly be high vibrational people, then we should care